Hello, and welcome to AfterWyrd, the place where we do all the strange, kooky stuff that we don't fit into the main show, and where we are already wearing our Christmas tops. My name's Andy.
And my name's Krampus. I mean, Craig.
Yes, indeed, we have been talking about Krampus. He hasn't come to throw me in a sack just yet. So, any updates for us? Anything going on in the weird world of Craig?
I've been a little bit preoccupied this week by, well, I mean, other than putting up Christmas decorations, of course. There's been a story in the news though that's, yeah, I don't know. Let's just get into it, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. I haven't got my as many Christmas decorations up yet, but I have dusted off. He's just smacked my laptop. My old friend Kagatio here. Let's hope he poops me out some Turon and some other nice gifts. But yeah, what by the cast on your face just then, for those
Mm.
listening rather than watching, Craig had a grim face.
It's a pretty serious one, and it's something we've spoken about twice this year. So we've done one on the Afterward, and we've done a whole episode on this. So this is back to the Slender Man stabbing case yet again.
Oh, updates.
Yeah, so Morgan, who we haven't been given an updated name since their release, so I'm still going to have to say Morgan. But Morgan, as we explained in the episode, we did hear early this year had transitioned and was now identifying as a male, which is why we did the whole episode that way.
Yeah.
And since then, everything I've seen has referred to Morgan with she, her pronouns, which I find a bit strange. So I thought for a while I was going mad because I was like, kept checking sources. But definitely earlier this year, people said it was it, and it's in court transcripts and it's mentioned. You can watch some of the court TV videos and stuff, and it's definitely brought up there. So from that perspective, I hold my hands up. I don't know what's going on. All right.
Fair.
But we said a few months back that they'd finally worked out a way of Morgan being released, and there was an issue with where the location of the home was. If you're
Mhm.
not sure what we're talking about, I would go back and listen to the episode or the afterword where we talk about that because we go into a bit more detail. But basically, what's happened is Morgan was released, I believe, in October, and then this week I was actually quite upset to see this in the news, to be honest. So US woman, again, not me, that's the article, behind Slender Man stabbing caught after escaping from a group home.
Oh.
I was so disappointed by this because we talked about like, being medicated and treated and
Yeah, and
how,
it's changing how things were was,
you're
sort
not
of for
responsible for your
them.
mental illness and all this kind of stuff. Now, there's not an awful lot of detail on this at the moment. Well, Morgan, anyway, went missing on Saturday of last week as we record this, which is the week before for you guys listening. Um, they went missing, and for some reason, the home didn't report it. So Morgan had cut their tag
Mm.
and had just fucked off. And then it took quite some time before they told the police, it seems. And then eventually, once they did tell the police, they caught up with them at like a truck stop. What had happened is someone had reported a couple of people were sleeping on the sidewalk outside a truck stop. So the police turn up um, on Sunday evening in a place called Madison in Wisconsin.
I've been there actually. It's the yeah, sort of one of the bigger cities in Wisconsin.
I believe it's about 170 miles from where they were
Yeah.
housed. So they'd gone a fair distance overnight. Um, yeah, so this says they responded to a complaint that two people were loitering behind a building as well as sleeping on a sidewalk. Now, initially, Morgan gave police a false name, and then reportedly said she didn't want to identify herself. Again, I'm using what's written here, but I think it should be himself, um, because he had done something really bad and the officers could just Google him. Eventually, they find out who Morgan was and was detained along with a 42-year-old companion who was booked with obstructing identity after giving police a false name as well. It's very vague as to what we can know at this point. Presumably now Morgan is now going to go back into care and is going to be back in a ward. There are people calling for all sorts of nasty shit I've seen online.
That is sad. That is very sad.
It seems to me like whoever it is on the outside that either helped her escape, whether that's the same person that was arrested or not,
Yeah.
like to me, with Morgan's schizophrenia, and I know they have since said that Morgan no longer is on medication. That doesn't mean they're not schizophrenic, because you can go for periods without medication, and that's fine. But it's unclear. They're obviously being quite vague for, I guess, security reasons and things like that. But I do wonder, they're obviously a vulnerable adult.
Yes.
We had the issue, part of the issue with them being released was because they were communicating with someone that was getting like true crime memorabilia, like pictures and stuff that they were selling on eBay, and that delayed the release. And so I do kind of feel like, and I could be completely wrong, but I feel like Morgan might be the one that's, as a vulnerable adult, is being almost abused in this situation. I don't know.
Yeah, it is really, as I said, it's really sad to hear. I mean, it does feel like the media coverage of it, it's very skewed. And I get that, this isn't like, yeah, we discussed this, how so many people think of that case as it being a murder when it wasn't a murder. It was an attempted murder.
And as I think we said originally on the original episode, Peyton, who was
Yeah.
the girl who at the time, only 12, yeah, she was stabbed 19 times and somehow crawled to a place where someone found her. And like the whole thing has miracle, written all over it. And obviously, Peyton is the main victim here, but I think there is an element that Morgan clearly in need of more help than she's getting, or he's getting, whichever it might be. And like
Was it?
people are saying whether Morgan was released to a group home and whether it was too soon or the wrong decision or they should have stayed locked up. And it's like, it sounds like they weren't being monitored right with like the right people. Like you're released doesn't mean you're free to go because they're monitored. So they should be monitored. They should have assistance and being able to like transition into a slightly more free life, I guess. But they don't seem like they're getting that kind of assistance.
No.
We obviously have covered this quite well, I
Yeah.
believe, before, where like I said, we do talk about the undiagnosed schizophrenia, and there's a lot of details that people miss out. So people talk about how they should now be sent to prison. I was like, that's not how you might not like it, but that's not how the American law system works. They were found not guilty by reason of insanity. They
Yeah.
cannot go to prison. I don't know the law well enough, whether now, as someone that's now escaped, whether they could potentially face a prison sentence. But it doesn't seem like that's something that's going to benefit this person. I think maybe they need to continue to be monitored even if they are released into a group home.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, and luckily, nothing bad came of it. They didn't.
Hurt anyone or themselves.
They didn't hurt anyone. They seem to be just living on the streets and trying to, I guess, be free. I don't know what the plan was. Maybe there was a plan. I don't know the locations and geography well enough to decide whether they were like going towards where Peyton lived or anything like that. And it's obviously very distressing for Peyton and her family as well.
Obviously, yeah.
That, I mean, that goes without saying. I don't know. So this article from The Independent says that the Wisconsin authorities have asked the state court to revoke the conditional release of Morgan. Again, I'm
Oh,
going to read
damn.
the article, but it says the woman who nearly killed her sixth grade classmate in 2014, a Waukesha County, is it Waukesha? Waukesha? I can't remember how you say it. Waukesha.
I think it's Waukesha County.
Waukesha County Circuit Court judge on Wednesday agreed to seal the petition filed late Tuesday by the Department of Corrections, which seeks to revoke Geiser's conditional release. Yeah, authorities say that Geiser removed her GPS monitoring bracelet on Saturday night and ran away from the group home in Madison, accompanied by, oh, this says 43-year-old. This is slightly older than I said.
Hmm.
Located by police Sunday night outside Chicago. Yeah, 170 miles from Madison. Geiser did not fight her extradition to Wisconsin in a Chicago court on Tuesday. Wisconsin authorities have 30 days to pick her up. Geiser's attorney did not respond to an email Wednesday seeking comment. So if Geiser's conditional release is revoked, she could be sent back to the mental institution where she spent most of the past 8 years. She could also face new charges in connection with her escape. I was going to say Morgan. It says Geiser. Sorry, Geiser's companion has been charged with trespassing and obstruction, but the Associated Press isn't naming the companion because the person hasn't been charged with aiding Geiser's escape. So it says the companion called WKOW-TV. That's a very American name, isn't it?
Yes.
On Monday, saying that the two became friends at church and had seen each other daily for the past month. Geiser decided to flee because she was afraid her group home would no longer allow them to see each other. It says the friend she ran because of me, the friend told the television station. They took a bus overnight into Illinois. No, the article doesn't give any more than that. I don't really want to look at it, but there is a Daily Mail article. Let me just check if there's any details in that quickly. Yeah, so okay, so I wasn't sure earlier. So this other person, this Mecca,
Yeah.
is the one that cut off the bracelet with scissors, according to this
Oh,
article.
okay.
So Mecca did help them escape. They were intending to end up in Nashville, Tennessee. Just the thing, you got to think as well. Morgan's not been free since they were 12, and they're now 23.
No.
So, well, half of their life
Entire life has been
in custody. So I do still count this other person as the one that's taking advantage a little bit.
Oh no, 100%, 100%.
I don't even want to click play on the video that's on the top of this headline, to be honest, but do I? Do I dare? It's a minute.
You guys from?
South.
South?
We'll be fine tonight.
Okay, I just want to make sure you guys are warm. 19?
Yeah.
That's fine, you're still an adult. So,
Yeah, so what's your last name? No what?
I don't want to give you my name.
okay, well then we're going to arrest you. You're not wanted for murder, right?
Right.
Well then you ain't going to have a problem with us, I promise you. Now you did something wrong because just come back no record on files, and that means you're lying to us about your name. I don't know what you're so scared about.
What's your last name?
At this point, we're just going to detain her.
Please let her go.
Then
Please let her go.
Then give him your name.
I did something wrong.
What did you do
She doesn't
wrong?
know what I did.
Okay, that's fine. I ain't.
Let me talk to you again.
What is it that you did wrong?
I did something really wrong.
What is it?
Geyser. I promise she did not know.
J-S-E-R.
No.
Let me say goodbye, please.
Okay, we will.
I will never see her again.
Yeah, you will.
No, I won't.
304.
Why?
Because I did something bad. Let me say goodbye.
Go ahead and put your hands in
You
the
said I could say
I will
goodbye.
let you. You guys going to the same place, okay?
Fuck, man.
And then the Daily Mail run with the drama queen headline.
That's
Fuck
fucking
the
hard
Daily
to
Mail.
watch, seriously.
I don't know if you know, I'm not like a lawyer. Not like an expert in American law. I don't know this shit. It doesn't appear to me from watching that like they had any sinister intention.
No.
They made a stupid decision, and I do think that this other person who cut the bracelet maybe led them on. I mean, it's difficult, right? If they genuinely don't know, they know they've done something, but they don't question what. That says to me that there's something
Yeah.
mentally wrong with them as well, right? Like, I'd be like, hang on a minute. Before I cut your bracelet, what did you do? You know what I mean?
No, 100%. 100%.
I think they may also be a vulnerable person. Initially, my thought was, without seeing the footage, was maybe the other person was leading them astray. But
Yeah.
now I'm more inclined to think, actually, it might have been quite innocent.
So
Go.
I'm going to lighten things up a little bit with a dose of the weird from Premier Christian News, which isn't a source we use very much.
Have you ever used that source before? Wow.
No, in Patrice et Filiat Spiritus Sancti.
Is that I'm starting to feel the last few afterwards. It's starting to feel like Peter's had more of an influence on both of us than
Right,
maybe.
right. Welcome to Into the Weird. Um, Drunk Vicar crashes Bishop's car into an actress's vehicle.
Is this not an episode of Father Ted?
I was gonna say, I'll set up to a joke, you know.
Wow.
Just thinking of
Hickory Dibley.
Bishop Brennan. He did kick me up the arse. Um,
There was that episode where they they got the car they're going to raffle off and it gets more and more trashed and
yeah,
dented
yeah.
the more they go on.
So a vicar in Lincoln has been banned from driving for 2 years after crashing the Bishop of Lincoln's car while drunk. But that communion wine. Friar Sion Hughes Carew was arrested at the scene near Lincoln Cathedral after the vehicle crashed into a parked car and ended up on a pavement. The 40-year-old, who is a priest in charge of All Saints and St Mary's in Wigford, had reportedly been socializing at the Bishop's Palace before the crash. It happened on a Friday evening last month at around 11 p.m. He pleaded guilty while drunk driving, while almost 3 times the legal limit. The Holy Spirit was in him. And was fined £873 and ordered to pay 434 in court fees. The parked car, which is a write-off, belonged to Brian Maher, the partner of actress Heather Bell, who plays Clary Grundy in The Archers. She told the Daily Mail that it was a hell of an accident, but the driver seemed so calm as he walked up and down on his phone the whole time, though he must have been terrified of the consequences. She added, "It's a story of the actress and the." I was going to say, yeah, as the actress said to the bishop, right?
And Brian May as well from Queen, right?
Possibly a different one, Brian Maher.
Oh,
I
thought you had a lisp.
Maher. Brian Maher said, "I would say it's no way for a vicar to behave, but there's no way for anyone to behave, really." The spokesman for the Diocese of Lincoln said a formal disciplinary process is underway for the Reverend. The Bishop of Lincoln had no knowledge of the car being taken and did not apparently give his permission. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Wow, that's a happy story to cheer things up.
Have you got any weird news for us?
Countdown champion given indefinite hospital order after stabbing a rival contestant.
Okay. That's unexpected.
I know. You need to think like think IT crowd.
Oh, the countdown episode.
Right. Street countdown. Right. We're gonna go to street countdown. That's a nice Tenetember you're wearing, all that. Have that in your brain, and this would be a nice light story. All right. So former countdown winner John Cohen has been handed an indefinite hospital order after stabbing incident in 2024. So this isn't recent, but I guess he's just been charged. The contestant, 31, who appeared on the show in 2017, attended an unofficial countdown tournament. You see, street countdown. Anyone that hasn't watched IT Crowd will have no idea what I'm on about here. But street countdown in September 24, where it said he ran across the room with a knife and wounded a rival, Thomas Carey, in the arm. CCTV footage captured Cohen as he entered the room at the Wainwright Social Club in Blackpool, Lancashire, shortly after 11:30 a.m., might add, and was shown to the jury at Preston Crown Court in September. You were in possession of 2 kitchen knives and already held one of them in your hand, clearly to be used as a weapon, Judge Guy Matheson said. This was a terrifying incident of deliberate violence with a knife, which could have caused far more serious injury and possible lethality. Lethality? Is that a word?
Yeah.
I guess
it's
it
a
is.
Word and everything.
Never heard that word before. He was arrested at the scene and later charged with a wounding offence and 2 court counts of possessing a bladed article in a public place. Mr. Carey was treated in hospital for a stab wound to the left bicep. In September, it was ruled that Cohen was unfit to stand trial based on an assessment by 2 psychiatrists. Isn't it weird that all my articles end up being linked?
Yes, it is.
I've only just realised as I'm reading this now, like, I mean, It's not quite as extreme as Slender Man, but this meant Cohen, who is seriously mentally unwell, was attending Wednesday's fact-finding hearing via video link from the Guild Lodge Psychiatric Hospital in Preston, where he's receiving treatment. The one matter that was tentatively put to Mr. Carey was that there had been some ongoing disagreement between you, Mr. Cohen, and others on the use of an app to play or help with playing Countdown. Oh, see, it all comes down to apps, Andy. That's how
It
you get
does.
stabbed in the arm.
There's an app for that.
Ain't that right? Stabbed in jail. Yeah. Mr. Carey was at a complete loss as to why he'd been singled out for the attack. Cohen will be treated for schizophrenia. Again, did not see that coming. After being given an indefinite hospital order. Insert IT crowd jokes, I guess, because I thought that the headline made it IT crowdy, but actually it's quite similar to the Slender Man case, albeit
Fucking
less severe.
bloody hell, Craig.
That's copyright BBC, Danny Robbins. You can't say that.
Fucking hell, Craig. Copyright Wyrd Wessex. I think we better leave it there, to be honest.
Listen, if you wonder why we like dark shit, go and watch the episode with Peter Laws. He explains why I'm a weirdo.
Exactly. Pete will explain it all.
Sorry, Peter, if you're listening.
On a slightly lighter note, I was doing a bit of recording for the film that would never end, our Lord of the Rings fan project. And Andrew Chorley came along, who's a phenomenal photographer, for those who don't know him. And he's doing a lot of our camera work. And he turned up and he sort of blinked and looked at me. I said, "You okay?" And he said, "It's just really weird coming out of the car and listening to you and then walking up and speaking to you." I was like, "Yeah, it's all right. Us celebrities get it all the time." But yeah, apparently you've been listening to AfterWyrd on his way to the shoot. So,
Lovely.
if you're listening, hi Andrew. It'll get less weird, or will it? That's the whole point.
And anyone that has any of my cookbooks, Andy's done some of the pictures
Yes.
in some of the, particularly the Eat Like a Halfling one. A lot of the portraits and some of the food pictures were done by Andrew for that one.
So thank you for joining us on this AfterWyrd. Dark as some of it has been, it all matters. And yeah, check us out for next time, next episodes, next AfterWyrds. Have a look and a listen to the lot. But thank you again very much, and until next time.
Don't blame the owls.